Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is the place to go for high quality free trading education. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. In this video, I will be speaking about EURUSD. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I will be covering the technical aspect of this market, then we will move to the order flow, and by the end of the video, by using the combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which at the moment just broke above a quite strong level of structure. In fact, what we know is that this zone was acting as previous support here, again support here, again support here, again here, and as the market just approached once again strong support, it already started rejecting it to the upside. So in a situation like this, we could expect a bit more bullish price action to be developed away from this area. So on the monthly, everything looks quite bullish. Dropping down on the weekly, what we can see is that from a weekly perspective, we currently have a market which is testing resistance. In fact, if we look closer, what we can see is a strong impulse to the downside. Then the market stopped here and created this green candle, confirming that this zone at that point started acting as support. After this zone started acting as support, the market broke back below it, making this become previous support, which is now turned resistance. And as the market is breaking above previous support and resistance, if that will be successful, at that point, this would once again become support, from which at that point, we could expect a potential rejection to the upside. So if we have to identify this zone, we must place this box here, showing how this was previous horizontal support, which is now turned resistance. So at the moment, monthly is bullish, however, weekly has resistance. Going down on the daily, what do we have? Now, from a daily perspective, the situation is actually very clear. We have a market which at the moment is in a range bounded in between structure, both from the upside and from the downside. In fact, at the top, we have this previous resistance which is currently still acting as resistance. This was acting as previous resistance here, again, was rejected as resistance here, again here, and at the moment the market is testing it once again. However, at the same exact time, we have this previous support, which is still acting as support here. Now, this was also a previous support area. In fact, if we extend this level to the left, we can see how already from here, all this move to the upside was created, starting exactly from this zone. So clearly, at the moment, we have a market which, at least from a daily perspective, is bounded in between two structure levels, which is actually a very common thing. If you see that on the monthly and weekly, you have opposite structure levels. In fact, as we have already identified, on the monthly, we had support. On the weekly, we had resistance. Here on the daily, it was to be expected that we would find a range. However, before we continue now deeper into analysis from a daily perspective, let's first go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing. Now, first of all, let's check the euro. Now, what we can see here is that with the last reports on the euro, net positions have been increased. We went from having a quite negative net positioning of minus 47k net positions with way more shorts than longs, with 249k shorts compared to only 202k longs, all the way up to now having a positive net positioning with more longs than shorts, with 236k longs on the institutional side of the market compared to only 72k shorts. Now, this is quite bullish for the euro. And keep in mind that all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. So if you're looking for the euro, you're actually already looking at the data for EURUSD. So let's switch back on the daily time frame to see what kind of structure we currently have, and let's proceed with our analysis. And by the way, before I forget, in description you find a link of the forex broker that I suggest, because I got multiple questions about this. You find it directly in description, and you have also quite a few advantages if you use precisely that link, especially if then you decide to join the mentorship program. So continuing here with the analysis from a daily perspective, what we can see is that as the market is currently below previous daily resistance, which is now still resistance, we cannot be looking for anything, because what we know is that in a bounded market, looking for a trend to be developed is definitely not a good thing, because you have resistance at the high and support at the top. However, what we also know is that the best probabilities in the market come when all time frames are showing the same direction. And in this case, since the monthly and weekly would both become bullish if the market manages to break above this resistance, at that point also the daily would become bullish, so we would have the monthly, weekly and daily time frame and also the COT all looking quite bullish. So if we actually get a successful break above this resistance after a break on the retest of this previous resistance, which at that point would become support, here is where we would have quite interesting probabilities for a potential rejection to the upside. So if we do get the break on the retest, how we could be approaching this potential rejection to the upside. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the COT data, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. Now, if you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say valid entries and these kind of things, you want to learn more, I really suggest that you go and check out the transparentfxtrading.com website. Here, you will have the possibility to gain access to all my courses with all the rules of the strategies. You also have the possibility to gain access to one-on-one private mentoring, the VIP market breakdowns of the Telegram signals, the COT data software, which is the one that we used precisely in this analysis, the trading station software, which puts together everything that you need as a trader all in one interface. And if you continue to scroll down here, you will see that at the moment there is a massive special promotion in which you have a huge discount on the upfront price of the mentorship program from $497 all the way down to only $97 one-time payment. And also, since we have partnered with the forex broker Ingot Brokers, if you open an account from them after you joined from your student dashboard, you can get a full refund credited back into your trading account of what you paid for the mentorship program. And if you continue to scroll down, you will see that you have the possibility to join directly from here to gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. And at the moment, there is still time to join before the offer expires, and price will go back to normal. So I really suggest that you go and take advantage of this directly from transparentfxtrading.com, and looking forward to have you on board. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you, and I will see you in my next breakdown.